TVC Breakfast. Now we start with the story where a Finnish court has sentenced Ekpa to 6 years in prison for terrorism-related offences, aggravated tax fraud and violations of the Attorneys Act. According to the court, between 2021 and 2024, Ekpa supplied weapons, explosives and ammunition to armed groups in Nigeria's southwest, pursuing Biafra's independence through unlawful means. Now, prosecutors also presented evidence linking his online campaigns to violent unrest in the region, citing the use of social media to incite violence. Now, in addition to terrorism charges, Ekpa was found guilty of serious financial misconduct, including tax fraud, further weakening his legal credibility. Now, reacting to the verdict, the federal government also welcomes the conviction, saying it validates Nigeria's long-standing position on Ekpa's activities. Now, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, described the judgment as a watershed moment that not only recognizes the sufferings of innocent Nigerians, but also strengthens diplomatic relations between Nigeria and Finland. Joining us in the studio for this conversation is public affairs analyst, the one and only Darlington Umoru. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Very well.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Great being here. At least we're not talking about people who haven't been killed again.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about a criminal.
Yes.
But let's talk about Simon. You know, we've seen a lot of atrocities that he has committed, both in Nigeria and both in Finland. And now that we see that he's going to be sentenced for 6 years in Finland, a lot of conversations are going on social media. People are saying that immediately he finishes, you know, his term, when he finishes that in Finland, they should bring him back to Nigeria. And also, for the atrocities he committed in Nigeria, he should also serve his term. We're also hearing the minister saying that this is a fantastic one. It's something that they have been waiting for. But what do you make of this whole issue and the amount of atrocities that Simon had done? Because of Ekpa, people had died as well.
Well, it's not yet to Uhuru. He has a right to appeal.
After all of this?
Yes.
Yeah.
He still has a right to appeal. So for me, it's not yet to Uhuru because he has not commenced serving the jail term. So up until after his appeal, of course, I know he would jump at that window to appeal, you know, against the judgment of the court that sentenced him to jail for 6 years. We have been craving for peace in Nigeria, particularly around the southeast. The southeast used to be, pardon me, the Japan, the China of Nigeria, where production, local fabrication was very much prominent up until the issue of the ESN came about. Now, Nnamdi Kanu was seen as the head, even though not the founder of IPOB. But after Nnamdi Kanu's arrest, Simon came from nowhere to take over. Even Nnamdi Kanu had severally condemned the activities of the Simon Ekpa's faction. At the time, I remembered when he did say that if released, that's talking about Nnamdi Kanu now, that is going to tackle all of that, including the activities of Simon Ekpa.
In one day.
In 24 hours.
24 hours,
Yes. You know, at the time we started wondering what was actually going on. Severally, we had this same problem within the security space, where we often arrogate or generalize the activities of insecurity in the southeast to IPOB, up until IPOB began to deny some of those killings, attacks, particularly on our security agencies. It became very clear when Nnamdi Kanu began to speak against what we thought was his own people. And then Simon Ekpa corroborated that with Simon Ekpa's, infamous announcement and using the space provided by the social media to aggravate situations, calling the people of the southeast and the army to do all kinds of things. My challenge, the issue of providing firearms and ammunition to the group was entirely not the problem of Simon Ekpa. Was entirely almost entirely the problem of the Nigerian government. Why could we not checkmate and police the movement of these firearms and ammunition from wherever they are coming from, particularly through our borders? Why couldn't we checkmate that? Now, if you suspected that some of these things were coming from a Simon Ekpa from Finland, I thought security should have been more, and then the agencies should have been more, up in their activities to checkmating the movement of small arms and light weapons. And the biggest problem we have today in Nigeria is not just the killings of Nigerians, it's the proliferation of small arms and light weapons. Yeah. Without the proliferation of small arms and light weapons, we won't be having most of these activities, particularly in Southeast and the North, soaring. I often give an example as a security consultant. If somebody comes to you barehanded to attack you, even if he could beat you, you have the option of running away. But if the man comes to you with a firearm, you cannot run faster than the bullets. The ammunition that will come out from the chamber of the firearm, whether it's a shotgun, whether it's an assault rifle, whether it's a pump action, whatever it is. Even the sight of the metal alone will frighten you. Sometimes you wee on yourself, on your pants. So it's good news beginning for Nigeria, but not yet uhuru, like I said, up until we listen to the judgment that will come after the appeal Simon Ekpa might make.
All right, sir. Right now he's remanded while waiting for appeal and all that, so we are happy. He's not free and all that.
And that has also helped reduce the activities in the Southeast.
Yes, that's right.
Since Simon Ekpa got into remand custody, before and during the court case, there has been relative peace in the Southeast.
In the Southeast, yes.
Except that the Monday thing that some of the governors had tried to fight, sit at home, had not been conquered.
Yes, but from information making the rounds, the people are now putting together their losses. As you said, the Southeast is like the China and of Nigeria and so on, where manufacturing and fabrication is the order of the day. So now they are putting together, they are doing the mathematics. How much are we losing for staying at home every Monday? But that's on the side. Nigeria and Finland enjoy an extradition treaty, and
so the diplomatic relations.
Yes, and we are looking at a situation where how will it be if Nigeria takes advantage of that extradition treaty and say, we want Simon to come back to Nigeria officially and face the charges here, his charges here in Nigeria. If I were Mr. President, I'll wait for him to serve like 5 years before asking for him to come over to face the charges of the crimes he has committed in Nigeria. How do you react to that, sir?
Well, you're not the president of Nigeria at the moment. First,
we needed to clear that.
You could be the president of this desk this morning, but for now you're yet to become a politician.
I'm not even one.
As at the last check.
Yes, I'm not even one. I'm not planning to be one.
Well, that was on a lighter mood.
Yes.
But yes, Nigeria has diplomatic ties with Finland. One of the things that were projected at the hearing was his activities in Nigeria, arming groups and then creating some sensational talks, using the social media to create a lot of insecurity brouhaha in Nigeria. And so the Nigerian government had started this even before now. but just that it's not been granted, particularly if you recall, when Simon Ekpa was arrested, the Nigerian government made some advances. You know, we discussed that on this same table some time ago when the Nigerian government started making its own case, demanding that Simon Ekpa should be extradited to Nigeria. But that wouldn't be possible because he was arrested by the Finnish government for crimes that also affected Finland.
Finland, yes. Tax fraud and so on.
So there's no way they would have given him to you at that instance. There's also no way they will give him to you before he serves his jail term. If eventually he does not survive the appeal that we know he will take. But after the jail term, yes, Nigeria should intensify efforts. Like you rightly said, if you were the president, many people are quite queuing behind you, you know, making that demand. It's for the Nigerian government to use, go through the Foreign Affairs Ministry, intensify efforts, explore our diplomatic relations with Finland, and then hit more, particularly if he is serving jail term, it meant that he has been found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So, and part of what he's serving jail term there for, which was partly mentioned, is the issue of the Nigeria case, where they said he has made firearms, small arms and light weapons available that have destroyed lives. That's right. Beyond the financial criminal activities that he was indulged in. Don't also forget that Simon Ekpa is a Finnish citizen.
That's right.
Don't also forget that. And so if they have to hand over their citizen to you, you must prove to them beyond all reasonable doubt that there's every need for him to also come to Nigeria to, I think he bears dual citizenship. And that also it's also disadvantageous to the Nigerian government. Except, there's something I think the country could do. The country should use it against Finland as a government, that their citizen, not our citizen now, create a diplomatic problem from there. Say their citizen has created a lot of problem in Nigeria and has led to the killing of so many persons in Nigeria. Now, if you are accusing the Finnish government and not Simon Ekpa directly now you'll be placing a very high burden on the shoulders of the leadership of Finland. And so why they will be trying to clear themselves, you know, talking about the leadership now, they want to shift everything now to Simon Ekpa, and there's still reasons to now, because they will defend themselves, and then they won't be defending Simon Ekpa. But if you are basing it only on Simon Ekpa, there are other diplomatic laws that you might have to fulfill.
That's right.
And call it diplomatic blackmail.
Blackmail, So, but thinking back, the Biafran War that actually happened in 1967 to 1970 or thereabout, you know, left scars that Achebe captured in his book. He said, in his book, There Was a Country. And he says, and I quote, "By questioning Nigeria's unity, part of the way to respond to confusion in Nigeria is to blame those from the other ethnic group." And now, Ekpa's case, you know, revives those divides, you know, because there's this marginalization, saying that we are marginalized, the North, you know, crying, the Southwest also making some sort of noise. So with the stats that, you know, he also referred to the amount of money that have been lost. That's amounting to 7.6 trillion naira evaporated from the Southeast economy during this unrest. What challenges do you consider these sentences will pose, you know, for reconciliation effort, like, you know, balancing accountability with addressing underlying poverty and, you know, marginalization or discrimination?
Well, I do not really think, well, pardon me, I do not really think the Southeast problem is based on marginalization. Well, yes, they are marginalized. For instance, if you want to talk about marginalization, of all the 6 regions in Nigeria, Southeast gets the lowest share of the national cake every month.
Their geopolitical, what's it called, status, they are the smallest in terms of number of states, in terms of the revenue that comes from there.
Okay, I don't know. Well, it's not a political program, but if you want to look at it, why should Southeast have 5 states over time with the population they have? If you want to talk about population, there's a simple saying. If you go to any country in the world, if you don't find an Igbo man, run out of that country.
Yeah,
that's right.
The spread,
it means the country is not thriving.
Of the Southeasterners will give you a very small idea of the population from the Southeast. I've been privileged to partly school in the Southeast. I've been privileged to partly, I had my youth service also in the Southeast. I also work as a weekly newspaper editor in the Southeast.
Unfortunately, you didn't marry from the Southeast.
I married from the Southeast.
Oh, nice.
You did?
Amazing.
Okay.
So there's some sort of...
So I'm like a part of them.
Yeah.
But the truth is that if we want to look at marginalization, yes. But that marginalization as a concept, how has the Southeasterners themselves fought it? They've not. There's a saying that also betrays some of the things the Southeasterners do, which they inherited.
Meaning?
They don't have
they don't believe in a kingship, literally explain. But it's about leadership. So they don't speak in one voice. See, if the Southeasterners, I have given it to them free of charge at a point in time. I said your beginning point is not to want to secede from the Nigerian arrangement. It is for those of you must be inside to be able to fight what is inside.
That's right. To your own benefit.
Your politicians are the National Assembly. Your politicians are the state houses of assembly. What have they done to begin to speak in one voice? What have they done to begin to pressure the national government to ask for additional states?
They are doing that.
No, it just started of recent. Just of late.
Just recently.
Of late. It's even a general thing. But when it wasn't a general thing, ask me what region or state in Nigeria is not asking for additional state now. But this should have started and not the secession. Now, there are things that can happen in Nigeria that cannot go away. The problem of Biafra started with the British government, who didn't prepare Nigerian leadership properly before handing over power. And so the presence of the military immediately and the atrocities of the military almost immediately after independence, created this hula baloo. That was why Anojuku, for instance, felt that the Lord Lugard arrangement is not favoring them.
Of course,
and
divide and rule.
And so they have to go.
Right.
But the same man of blessed memory that I respect so much, did say before his death that never again should there be any cause for the demand for Biafra. Yeah. He did say before he died. But you see, that blood has been injected, and then the bad blood is being inherited over time. And then it's been experimented over time. It's not a wrong thing to demand for secession, but go through constitutionally.
Constitutional means yes.
And so, up until this is achieved, we all know that they are marginalized. What they get from the national cake that every state run hand in cap to on monthly basis does not benefit them. What about development in the Southeast? Now, if the British government had gotten it right, now, and the first set of people, particularly Gowon, had gotten it right immediately after the Civil War, where we say no vanquish, no victor. And then you saw that actually pushed the Southeasterners into productivity, when manufacturing began to soar as a result of their disadvantages. We should have capitalized.
Yes.
Nigerian government should have capitalized on the productivity prowess of the Southeasterners to build an empire of export. Now, there was virtually nothing you needed, including firearms and ammunition, that could not have been manufactured in the Southeast. Whether shoes, whether, name it.
Just name it,
There
yes.
are two guys from the Southeast. What are their age brackets? 22, 23. They are exporting unmanned aerial vehicles to other parts of Africa now.
Yeah, so
They also have a general, a company, merchandise, and all of that. And they are doing greatly well. These are persons that you needed to harness.
That's right.
These are things we needed to bring together to boost. Nigeria is a dumping ground. We need situations where we are talking about our economy going down. Your economy will continue to go down when you are a consumer country. Up until you begin to export and earn, your economy cannot grow. So we missed it. When I say we, all of us, not just the leadership, we missed it because we could not harness what the potentials of these people, this region, what they showed, capacity, capability. Instead, we were discriminating and calling them Abamid.
Wow. Mr. Moro, I wish there was time. We can have this conversation for the whole day. Thank you for being so passionate when you speak. Thank you so much. Great insights. And you said something that really made sense, that the Nigerian government should rather write to the Finland government. That way it's more solid, you know, for us to have him back here so that he can be dealt with properly. Thank you so much for coming on the show. But well, we'll move to reactions within the People's Democratic Party, PDP, have been sharply divided following the 6 points preconditions set by Nyesom Wike and his allies ahead of the party's national convention. Join us after the break for this conversation. Don't go anywhere.